Today is part two of my five-part series on the five clairs, the aspects of communication that spirit uses when sending messages and communicating with mediums. The focus of today's video will be claircognizance. And claircognizance is, simply put, clear knowing. It is the experience of having information suddenly available to you that doesn't have any kind of logical reason behind it. For instance, I was giving someone a reading a couple of days ago, and I just knew that she went to private school. And it was all a part of a greater message that she was receiving, but that was a small part of the message. And she asked me, "How did you know that?" And I had to answer, "I don't know. I don't know how I know. I just know." And that's claircognizance. It's the experience of having information about a person that you really probably shouldn't have. Or I guess saying you shouldn't have, it makes it seem negative. It's not negative. It's just more of a piece of that person's life becomes available to you so that you can help alleviate any specific pressures in that person's life or elucidate any experience that that person needs to have more understanding of. Claircognizance has always been something that I have been connected to even before I started practicing as a medium. Even as a child, I had pretty clear knowing of things around me. And just to be specific about it, it's not about reading minds. It's not about being inside a person's experience and unnaturally taking from them something that is guarded or private. It is always an aspect of the person that, for whatever reason, they want to be seen. You can't go into somebody's experience and take private moments out of it. It's just not how it works. It's information that is already on the surface of that person's energetic experience that mediums can then latch onto and share as intuitive information for that person's life. And often spirit will become present and make those aspects of the person's experience known to the medium. So the best way to develop claircognizance, as I will always say, is practicing meditation because it helps you to become more present and less lost in the story behind your feelings, and then allows you to be open to other people's experience. So, particularly with something like claircognizance, it's important to meditate to allow that ability to expand. I think, as with all of the clairs, everybody has access to this way of communicating. It's just a matter of becoming aware of it. And another way that you can try to expand that ability is to trust that when you have a knowing about somebody, even if it's not something that they have asked you to share or that you will share, it's still a part of your understanding and it's actually valid. And I will just go back on that a little. It is important not to share that kind of information unless you've been asked to share it. I often receive information about the people around me, but I keep it to myself unless somebody has come to me for a reading, and then I will share what comes through. I think it is an invasion of privacy to share claircognizant understanding when it hasn't been asked for. But even in those moments when it's not asked for and it still comes through to you, to try to be present with it, trust that it is valid, and trust that it is spirit working with you to expand your ability to work with this kind of communication so that when you are asked if you would be willing to share what comes through, you trust that what comes through is real. That is also 100% of mediumship, is trusting that all the information that comes through is valid and necessary. Sometimes we may interpret the information incorrectly, but that doesn't mean that the information isn't true. It just means we didn't know how to interpret it, or the sitter, the receiver of the information, didn't know how to interpret it. So, practice in mediumship circles is another way to expand claircognizance because it teaches trust in your communication. It teaches trust in your gift of mediumship. And it also puts you in a position where you are asked to share messages and information in front of others so that your confidence grows. So, those are the ways to expand claircognizance: meditation, trusting, even in moments when you're not giving readings, but just walking through your neighborhood and picking up on information from somebody who walks by you, trusting that that information is valid and true, allowing spirit to work with you in those private moments. And then, thirdly, mediumship circles where you can practice sharing this information and seeing how very valid it usually is. Tomorrow will be part 3 of this series, and I will focus on clairvoyance. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe if you're inclined, because it helps me very much. Thank you.